How does a young Israelite, born to Amram and Jochebed, determine where an entire race is finally headed? Survive when the Pharaoh orders him to be drowned with the rest of the boys, but somehow living he is found on the banks of the Nile, in a makeshift ark, nobody caring for him, no one saying he'd leave a mark, till Pharaoh's girl, Queen Bithia, drew him in, was raised Egyptian royalty. Man, that was a win.
His name was Moses of the Israelites. His name was Moses of the Israelites. There were a million fights he had to fight, but just you wait, just you wait.
He watched a slave master kill a slave, felt no pity, and slayed that slave master, then fled overseas to Midian, climbed a hill with the help of his rod, saw something odd, a bush burning on the mountain of God, and God said,
turn around and free those slaves, you've got a nice full beard, I wouldn't trust someone who shaves.
But Moses had doubts, thought God made a mistake, so God took his rod and turned it into a snake. He said,
hey Moshe, if doubts are gonna pepper us, just give me your hand and I will turn it leprous.
God came through and Moses said, okay, my covenant with you begins today.
His name was Moses of the Israelites. His name was Moses of the Israelites. There were a million fights he had to fight, but just you wait, just you wait.
So he returned to Egypt carrying his staff, couldn't speak so well, so Aaron spoke on his behalf, went straight to the Pharaoh, said, let my people go.
But Pharaoh spat in his face and shouted,
no, I am not throwing away my slaves. I'm not throwing away my slaves. Hey yo, I'm just like my nation, I'm old and hate migration, and I'm not throwing away my slaves.
Moses said,
I'll stop being vague. You ignore me and I'll send you a plague. You hate the Hebrew people, you're like a demagogue. Turn me down and you'll wake up next to a frog. So behave, just cave, start acting nice, or you'll be left scratching your head from all the lice. And think twice, God is on my side and hyper-focused. Surrender the Jews or he'll send a swarm of locusts. But Pharaoh said no, so God went for the slaughter. He said,
I'll slay your firstborn sons but spare every daughter.
Moses told his bros to put blood on the door. Pharaoh laughed in his face and asserted once more, I am not throwing away my slaves. But when he woke, his oldest son had died. Pharaoh cried out to Moses, take your people outside this land. And before Pharaoh could take a stand, Moses gathered the Hebrews like God had planned. He led hundreds of thousands to the Sea of Red. Pharaoh changed his mind, said, I want them dead. But Moses was ahead, he got the last laugh, parted the sea, then drowned the army with his staff. They wandered 3 months until a wise guy asked, why are we here? But he shut up by Sinai, cause God called Moses to the very top. He inscribed 2 tablets and let them drop. He said,
here are 10 rules, they're more than just guidelines. I'm sick of being second to Ra, stuck on the sidelines. Do not kill, do not covet thy neighbor. It's the least you can do now that you're done with manual labor.
They spent 40 years wandering, no way to launder, just smooth sand for pondering. Moses grew old, his skin was white as Vanna. He said, better plan to survive on air and manna. But as he scanned that promised land, he grew weak, needed a hand he couldn't stand. Exhausted by the million things he had done, he never got to live in the land of milk and honey. And though he's mostly known for being the leader of the tribal, today the scholars say he wrote the first part of the Bible. He never gave up, he never came off it, and now he's widely known as a savior and a prophet.
That's Moses of the Israelites.